Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something, life ain't easy. If you think success is just about luck, talent, or being in the right place at the right time, you got it all wrong. See, 99% of people fail and only 1% succeed. Why? Because success requires something most people aren't willing to give. Success doesn't start with money, talent, or connections. It starts with the way you think. Your mindset is the foundation of everything in your life. If you think small, you'll live small. If you think big, you'll live big. It's that simple. Most people don't fail because they lack resources. They fail because they never truly believe success is possible for them. The 1%, the ones who make it, don't wait for proof before they believe. They believe first, then they go after it like it's already theirs. Your circumstances don't determine your future, your mindset does. Too many people let where they come from define where they're going. They say, I wasn't born rich, I didn't go to the right school, I don't have the right connections, but the 1% don't think like that. They don't look at their current situation and say, this is all I'll ever be. They see where they are as temporary. They know they have the power to change their story. When you focus on your circumstances, you find excuses. When you focus on your mindset, you find solutions. It's easy to say, I can't do this because of where I come from. But successful people flip that and say, because of where I come from, I will do this. They use their struggles as fuel, not as shackles. They don't let their past hold them back. They let it push them forward. The 99% wait for the perfect conditions. They wait for the right time, the right opportunity, the right people to support them. But the 1%, they move now. They start with what they have and figure it out along the way. They know success isn't about what's in their bank account, it's about what's in their mind. You can have all the talent in the world, but the difference between the 1% and the 99% isn't talent, it isn't luck, it's work ethic. Talent might get you started, but it's your work ethic that will carry you to the finish line. Most people think that if they have the right skills or connections, they'll automatically succeed, but the reality is without consistent, focused effort, none of that matters. The 99% want results without putting in the necessary work. They want to see immediate returns. They want the shortcuts, the easy way out, the path that requires the least amount of sacrifice. But that's not how success works. The 1% understand that success is a marathon, not a sprint. They show up every single day, doing the work, even when it's hard, even when it feels like nothing is happening. They know that effort compounds over time. The 1% aren't waiting for motivation to strike them like a lightning bolt. They don't wait for the perfect moment when they feel like working. They understand that motivation comes and goes, but discipline stays. When you're disciplined, you don't need motivation to do the work. You do it because it's who you are. Success is built on the foundation of doing what needs to be done, when it needs to be done, even if you don't feel like it. The 99% fail because they give up too soon. They don't have the stamina to keep going when things get tough. They face a little setback and they quit. They think this isn't for me. Maybe I'm just not cut out for this. But the 1% understand that setbacks are part of the process. They don't stop at obstacles. They push through them. They view challenges not as roadblocks, but as stepping stones. The 1% work when nobody is watching. They don't need an audience to motivate them. They don't need applause or praise to keep going. They do the work because they understand that it's the quiet, consistent effort that eventually pays off. People often look at the 1% and think they got lucky, they're special, they have something I don't. What they don't see is the countless hours behind the scenes, the sacrifices made, the work done when no one else was paying attention. Work ethic is what separates the dreamers from the doers. The 99% dream big but fail to execute. They wait for the stars to align, for the perfect circumstances to fall into place. The 1% don't wait for perfect conditions. They make their own conditions. They understand that there will never be a perfect time to start. There's only the time you choose to start and the time you waste not starting. The 1% don't get distracted by the small stuff. the noise. They keep their eyes on the prize and their hands on the work. If you want to be successful, you have to understand that it's not about how hard you work for a short time, but how consistently you work over the long haul. The 1% put in the effort day in and day out. They commit to the grind and they push through the fatigue, the frustration, and the doubt. They know that it's in the work where growth happens, and it's in the work where the magic is made. The 99% fail because they're not willing to make the sacrifices needed for long-term success. They want instant results, but the 1% know that true success is the result of dedication, persistence, and sacrifice. It's not about working hard when things are going well, but about showing up when things get tough, when you feel like quitting, when nobody's there to encourage you. The 1% don't stop. They keep working, keep grinding, and keep pushing forward no matter what. Faith and fear cannot exist in the same space. You either believe in your vision or you let fear talk you out of it. The 99% live in fear, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of stepping outside their comfort zone. But the 1%, they move with faith. They don't have all the answers. They don't always know how things will work out, but they believe that if they keep going, something will happen. That's the difference. Fear paralyzes people. It keeps them stuck in the same place, making excuses, waiting for the right time. The truth is, fear will never go away. It's always there, whispering doubts, telling you you're not good enough, not smart enough, not ready. The 99% listen to that voice and let it control their actions. The 1% hear the same fear but move forward anyway. They know that fear is just an illusion, a trick the mind plays to keep them safe. But success isn't safe. It requires risk, and risk requires faith. Faith isn't just believing when things are going well. That's easy. Faith is believing when nothing seems to be working. It's pushing forward when the bank account is low, when doors are closing, when the dream looks impossible. The 99% quit when things get hard. They take setbacks as signs to stop, but the 1% use faith to keep going. They don't need to see the whole staircase. They just take the next step, trusting that the rest will reveal itself along the way. Fear makes people overthink. They want guarantees before they start. They want to be 100% sure they won't fail, but there are no guarantees in success. The only guarantee is that if you don't try, you'll never make it. The 1% don't wait until they're ready. They step out before they feel ready. They trust that they'll figure it out as they go. The 99% want certainty before they take action. The 1% take action first and certainty follows. Fear keeps people trapped in comfort. It convinces them to settle, to stay where it's familiar, to avoid risk. But nothing great ever happens in comfort zones. The 1% embrace discomfort. They understand that growth is painful, that success requires stretching beyond what feels safe. They know that if they want something different, they have to do something different. The 99% stick to what they know. The 1% step into the unknown. Doubt is fear's best friend. The 99% doubt their abilities, doubt their worth, doubt their dreams. The 1% have doubt too, but they don't let it stop them. They replace doubt with action. Every time they push through fear, their faith gets stronger. Faith isn't just something you have, it's something you build. Every small victory, every risk taken, every challenge overcome strengthens faith. The more faith you have, the less power fear holds over you. Fear shows up in many forms: procrastination, excuses, hesitation. The 99% let these things control them. The 1% recognize them for what they are and push past them. They know that fear doesn't disappear, you just get stronger than it. They take action even when they're scared, and that's what makes them different. Most people wait for permission. They wait for someone to validate their dreams, to tell them it's okay to go after what they want. But the 1% give themselves permission. They don't need approval. They don't need anyone to believe in them first. They move with faith, knowing that their belief alone is enough. The 99% need proof before they believe. The 1% believe first, and then the proof shows up. Failure is not the opposite of success, it's a part of success. The 99